Hey, this is Coach Wooly, the Holistic Trainer, and this is a demonstration of some toe exercises. There's going to be two here. One is a big toe extension, and the second is the little toe extensions. When you're doing this exercise, you can do it in a number of positions. It could be done seating like I am, in the standing position, or done sitting on the floor. The first exercise is big toe extension. So as I'm doing this, I want to focus on just my big toe moving and not my four little toes. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to focus on keeping these toes relaxed and just try to barely lift up my big toe off the floor, bringing it as high as I can under control, and then returning it back down to the ground. When you're doing this, the focus is to keep the little toes relaxed. You want to try not to claw the ground with those little toes. You want to keep them just gently pressing into the ground and just let your big toe move. This is going to be very challenging in the beginning to just allow the big toe to move. So two things you can do is one, just put the intention of lifting your big toe. So notice that I'm not actually lifting it yet, but there's a little bit of movement. As long as I can keep these toes relaxed, I'm doing it properly. Another technique you can do is use a tool or your hand to keep these toes down as you're lifting your big toe. And this will make it a little bit easier in the beginning, but of course we want to progress to not having to use the tool to do this exercise. You should have a little hold at the top and gently returning it to the floor. The second exercise is the opposite, where you're focusing on lifting the four little toes while you keep the big toe relaxed. So now I'm lifting up my small toes and then bringing them back down. Again, we want to focus on not gripping the ground too much with the big toe. We want to keep this big toe just gently pushing into the ground and just lifting up those small little toes. We can again have two regressions. One is just having the intention of lifting the toes without them actually lifting. And two, we can use a tool to keep our big toe flat as we lift up our small toes. There should be a little hold at the top and gently placing them back down on the floor. Again, we want to progress to not having to use our tool to perform this exercise. When you're doing this technique, you're going to perform it on both sides. I would suggest starting with your non-dominant side, then moving to your more dominant side. And more than likely, you're going to have more trouble on one side than the other. So after you do one leg or one foot, and then you move to the other foot, if you notice there's a big difference in your abilities from side to side, spend more time working on the non-dominant side. And this is a demonstration of two toe exercises, big toe extension and little toes extension.